Okay, I apologize for the delay, but we are now live, so whenever you all are ready to get started.
Good evening and welcome everyone to the May 3rd monthly meeting of the Zoning Committee of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Planning Commission. I am Kiva Samuel and I serve as chair of the committee. Tonight's meeting is being streamed online in accordance with the electronic meeting statute. Requirements for notice and access and minutes are being met through electronic means. We ask that everyone please keep your mics muted if you are not speaking. For commissioners. We are virtual, so we will be taking votes via roll call. Please state your name prior to making a motion or second. And we will begin with these introductions. And Holly, looks like I may be able to slide over.
Holly Kramer, rezoning staff.
Holly,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
It's a bit low, but I can hear you now.
How about now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Here we go. Okay. So thank you, and pardon please the interruption. We were beginning with introductions and I got Holly. I'm going to circle back to our commissioners now. Commissioner Blumenthal.
Andrew Blumenthal, Zoning Committee.
Chirinos.
Astrid Chirinos, Zoning Committee.
Ham. Rhodes.
Courtney Rhodes, Zoning Committee.
Spencer. Do we have Spencer? Welton.
Douglas Welton, Zoning Committee.
And again, my name is Kiva Samuel, Service Chair, and we'll now begin with staff. And I've got Holly, Mr. Patton.
Dave is absent tonight, so I'll be running the meeting. Kiva, John Kinley, rezoning staff.
Okay, thanks, John. Alfred.
Alfred Oyoyo, CDOT staff.
If there's no Dave, is there a Claire?
They're like Grand Planning staff.
Welcome. Good to see you. Donna.
Donna Johnson McNeil, Planning staff.
Good evening. Jake.
Jake Carpenter, CDOT, and I will be providing support in the role previously done by Brandon.
Thank you and welcome. Joe.
Joe Mangum, planning staff.
I got John. Kevin.
Good evening, Kim Parker, CDOT staff.
Laura.
Laura Harmon, planning staff.
Michael.
Michael Russell, planning staff.
Good evening, Patrick Monroe, CDOT staff.
Walter.
Good evening, Walter Blackman, CDOT staff.
Thank you so very much. Have I omitted anyone? Anybody? Okay, John, this will take me a minute to get used to, but please take us through any deferrals or withdrawals, please.
I think the first item we should probably attend to is the meeting for next month. We should probably vote on moving that. I think Dave had briefed you on that already. Moving that meeting which would have been at the end of May, moving it to June 7th, because our deferral items would be requesting to defer to June 7th, according to the agenda.
I actually already had it on the calendar as June 7th.
I think we might have done that last month, but I think maybe it was just an FYI. We will need to officially establish that. June,
Commissioner Welton, I will make a motion that we move our, to accommodate changes in prior meetings, we will move our next zoning committee meeting to June 7th.
Blumenthal second.
motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Rhodes, Chirinos,
Aye.
Blumenthal,
Aye.
Spencer, Rhodes,
Aye.
Walton.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Thank you. That passes unanimous. Thank you, John. You're muted.
Thank you. We have 3 deferrals. That would be 2021-197 by Crescent Communities, 2021-209 by Coastal Acquisition Entity LLC.
John, you're breaking up. A showrunner, John, you're having some audio difficulty.
I've reached out to John to let him know to turn off his video. That may be able to help.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, internet just wiped out right there. 3 deferrals, 2021-197, 2021-209, and 2021-219. They're all requesting a deferral to June 7th.
Thank you, John. Motion?
Commissioner Welton, I will move that we accept these 3 deferrals and move those on to our June 7th meeting.
Blumenthal second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Chirinos,
Aye.
Rhodes,
Aye.
Walton,
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. Thank you. Okay, so that takes us to our first item on the agenda, 2021-079. And this is,
I'm going to take that one, Kiva.
okay, Piedmont Capital LLC. Thank you, Claire.
Yes. 2021-79 is a request to rezone an existing shopping centers on the North Wendover Road. And the request is to rezone it from B1CD to NS to allow all uses in the NS district, which are basically retail uses, and 2 EDEEs or restaurants with drive-through and outdoor seating. So one of the proposed EDEEs will be part of the existing square footage, and out parcel boundary, new proposed out parcel boundary, it will accommodate the second EDEE. Other improvements to the site include internal pedestrian sidewalks, some new parking areas, I believe, to the rear of the main center, installation of a traffic signal at Beale Street in North Windover, a proposed 12-foot wide multi-use path per Charlotte Bikes policy, and installation of screening. There are a few outstanding issues that the petitioner has reached out to staff about regarding existing trees. So we'll be working with Urban Forestry to address showing the existing trees to be preserved on the site plan, as well as limiting the square footage to what is proposed as part of this zoning. There's little conflict there, so they're updating the plan to reflect what is proposed for consistency. The petition is consistent with the Independence Boulevard Area Plan recommendation for retail uses, and staff does recommend approval.
Thank you. And let's hear discussion on this.
This is Commissioner Welton. I had one point that I wanted some clarification on. There will be a new traffic light at Beale Street, and that will be like 4 traffic lights. Gosh, it's got to be within a quarter of a mile there. Is that a? I'm not a traffic engineer, but I play one on TV. I'm assuming that is not going to be a problem. That because it is recommended, but it is unusual to me to see that many traffic lights within such a short span. So if somebody from CDOT perhaps could give me some clarification on that, that's the only issue I wanted to find some more interesting or more details about.
Thank you, Commissioner Welton. This is Walter Blackman with CDOT. So these site plans are, once we receive them, we consult with CDOT implementation, and they basically maintain the traffic signals. And so we have gotten clarification from them that there's not going to be an issue with this traffic signal at this location. We're also working with NCDOT on that. So neither NCDOT nor CDOT implementation were concerned with this traffic signal at this location.
Okay, thank you. I do know that at traffic time, that's a parking lot over there. But if you guys give it the thumbs up, then I'm all good with that. Thank you.
How many drive-throughs are currently on the site? Just one, right?
I believe so.
So, because if I'm looking at it, it looks like where the commercial building envelope is, that stays largely the same. And then
Yes.
towards the bottom of our screen, closest to Beale Street, that's existing. That's a bank, I believe.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I believe that it's currently a bank and they're proposing to convert it. If that portion of that building closest to Beale Street, they're looking to convert that to the drive-through. And then you have that proposed out parcel, the larger out parcel that you can see there with the EDEE.
Well, I think,
With the drive-through.
my concerns with this are twofold. One, we have, been cognizant about not increasing drive-through, I guess, accessibility in our rezonings recently with a very few exceptions. One of which actually was the one at South and Woodlawn, which Commissioner Chirinos, I know that this was a big point for you. It looks like they're going to be getting rid of a bank with a drive-through for an EDEE establishment. I know that, in neighborhoods that are transitional, for lack of a better word, we had talked about banking deserts. And so having access to a bank, is that something that we want to see converted? And I don't have the answer to that, but just a point that I want to raise for the group at large.
And I appreciate this, Commissioner Chirinos. Appreciate you bringing that up. What are the demographics on that side? Do you have any of that information clear at all?
No, I do not. I mean, just outside a series of retail uses, I think there may be an office type use in there, like a accounting office. So it's just a mix of, office, commercial, or retail uses.
This is Commissioner Welton, to go back to Andrew's question. The first thought I had about banks was that Cotswold has an abundance of them. I don't know what the distance is, and I would, in my opinion, that the distance for serving the Greer Heights community at Cotswold with banks, I would think that that would be well within a reasonable range. Randolph Road has sidewalks the entire way up, so someone could walk if they wanted to. There's just about everybody, that's a bank at Cotswold. So I do believe that is the case. I also believe that the current thing that's there is a credit union. Is that what I'm hearing, Claire?
I think that's correct. There may actually, I don't know, there may be a picture actually in the staff analysis.
It is a credit union.
Yeah, I tried to capture that. Yeah.
My understanding is that credit union, and I think this was said in the public hearing, is moving to Monroe Road. And if that is the case, I believe I heard that. And there are, I know the State Employees Credit Union is up on Monroe Road where, oh God, what is the name of that road? Where you come out the back of the Old Coliseum, whatever. I believe that's where it is. And if we need some more clarity about that from the petitioner, I'm sure they probably know. But I feel like that Cotswold has, I'm looking at good old a map location from a large internet company here. And it looks like there are 6 or 7 little points there for different banking organizations.
So Mr. Welton, that is State Employees Credit Union, and there is a credit union on Monroe Road there behind. It's Oakhurst Commons Drive.
Okay.
Location is now.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
The existing bank, it was, or the location was or is a State Employees Credit Union.
Okay.
And it looks like Mason in the chat clarified that it is vacant, that the credit union is no longer there.
It's moved already. Okay.
I will say, I think that was actually a secondary concern of mine to adding an additional drive-through. It's like, on one hand, I appreciate the addition of a 12-foot multi-use path, right? I think that the connectivity and you do have a decent amount of pedestrian traffic through this area, which is great. I am having difficulty wrapping my head around adding another drive-through though. And I guess for precedent, and correct me if I'm wrong, anyone else in this meeting, but we had a rezoning a few months back with at the intersection of Albemarle and 485, where they had 2 existing drive-throughs and were trying to add a third. And I believe we voted against that one because it was like, look, you already have one. Why do you need another? Right. The only petition that I can remember since I've been on this committee that we've approved an additional drive-through was the Fifth Third Bank on Woodlawn. And that was purely because of the bank in that area. And again, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but that's what my biggest concern is here.
As far as I know, that was, one of the reasons was because of the demographics in their area, the families, the seniors, it was a need. Not everybody, especially in the environment that we are, not everybody wants to get out and go inside the bank. So that was one of the reasons.
Right. Whereas on this petition, they've made very clear that this will be an EDEE, not a retail, not a true traditional retail like a bank. And I think I'm leaning towards actually voting against this one for that reason.
Andrew, I hear your point. I don't particularly have an issue with this one because it is on It is on a major thoroughfare. There will be additional traffic management with the light being put there. From the design of what I see on the site plan, I'm assuming that there will be a sufficient amount of space to queue cars in the parking lot, and they will not necessarily be out on the road and things of that nature. Another notion, I guess, is that this is going to provide some type of jobs and economic opportunity for folks that are in the area and will not necessarily require a college degree. So those are some points I see.
Understood, and I appreciate that.
I just had a question about this vehicle trip generation. It's going to generate, okay, right now it's 5,350 per day. So this does not need a traffic study.
This is Walter from CDOT. I wasn't sure if
Oh,
you needed me to
I
respond
wasn't
to
sure
that.
to ask that. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, so this project did trigger a traffic study, and the traffic study was done.
And you feel comfortable about, I mean, this year seems to be high, but
Yeah, so the traffic study was triggered and completed. Several mitigations were found to be necessary, including the traffic signal at Wendover Road and Beale Street, restriping the westbound approach of Beale Street to provide an exclusive left turn lane, shared through lane. There were also mitigations that include how the northern access of the site would operate, making it limiting it to left and right out movements only by installing a raised median. In addition to that, we've added the multi-use path. We've maintained the pedestrian signal there and worked with the developer to ensure that the internal pedestrian movements within the site would be able to directly connect to that signal.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So to Andrew's point, I think this is the first or one of the first new construction. Some of these come through, as Andrew pointed out, as site plan amendments like the one Albemarle 485. Drive-throughs were already approved. They were asking for an additional kind of a restaurant to add queuing space. This would be new construction drive-through, true enough. The credit union that used to be has vacated the land. I think we've already confirmed this particular shopping area. So I'm a bit half and half on this one. This area in general can use some fresh development, true enough. However, to the point that Commissioner Blumenthal has already raised, we also have environmental and sustainability efforts that we as a commission support, that we champion for in the 2040 plan. And it is through that lens that there's hesitation. The grocery anchor that is currently in this space, their lease expires in a few years. I believe in the public hearings where we heard that they have the opportunity to renew or not. They would be more likely to do so if there was some development infusion here, but not guaranteed. I do know that the community wants and needs desperately a grocery anchor, a grocery store here at this location. I think that if there is a better chance of that happening with this new development, it should be considered. This one's a struggle. And if there is no other discussion, motion, please. Or are there any other questions? CDOT, anybody? Everybody is good. Let's hear a motion, please.
This is Commissioner
Commissioner.
Welton.
Go for it.
I will make a motion. We'll see where it goes. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff, to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-079 as it appears before us, and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Motion by Walton. Do we have a second?
Rhodes, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Rhodes. Commissioner Blumenthal,
No.
Chirinos,
No.
Rhodes,
No.
Walton,
Yes.
and the chair votes no.
This is Commissioner Blumenthal. I can make an additional motion.
Well, is failed, and actually the approval has failed. So there is no additional motion to make.
So we don't need to make a motion to deny.
Correct. Mr. Walton needs to voice a dissenting opinion, however.
And I would note that concerns about the additional EDEE, I felt were mitigated by the traffic impact studies recommendations. I also believe that this provides some number of jobs to the community that are jobs that don't require advanced degrees and would provide economic opportunity for a number of the people that live nearby, particularly in Greer Heights and some of the folks in Oakhurst there. And I think those two ought to be sufficient, I guess. John, I assume you're capturing this, and if I need to say some more, let me know.
I think that's good.
Okay, thank you.
This is Commissioner Blumenthal. I would like to add a little bit of color to the record on why I voted against this, and the other commissioners can feel free to chime in. But I would like for, as this goes to a vote with City Council, for this to be on there. I voted no on this one because I want to stand firm on the Planning Commission's environmental and sustainability goals per the chairwoman's comments earlier. And while I have no problem supporting an additional out parcel, I cannot get behind adding an additional drive-through when they already have one allowed by right. If they were to only push for one drive-through and additional out parcel, my decision would be very different.
So this is, thank you, Commissioner Blumenthal. This is Commissioner Chirinos. I agree, because I'm also part of that environmental social responsibility committee, and overseeing that. However, I wonder if we would have had and it might have been an oversight on my end, because I wanted to hear from the petitioner, and I did not ask for that. So because I do agree with Commissioner Walton about the economic opportunity part of it, but I think that we don't have enough information yet. So I stand behind my decision because I don't think that we're very clear about all the demographic dynamics on that area.
Thank you both. And with that, we'll move to agenda.
Chair, could I ask a question? What was the vote on that last case?
4-1.
It was
I'm
4 to
sorry.
1. Okay, I just want to make sure that we did have the required 4 votes. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Agenda item 2021119. And this is by Profile Homes, and that's, let's see.
That would be me. This is approximately 31.5 acres on Freedom Drive between Toddville Road and Allenbrook Drive. The current zoning is R3 and MX2 within the Lower Lake Wiley protected area. The proposed zoning is MX2 and MX2 site plan amendment and would carry the Lower Lake Wiley protected area. Northwest District Plan recommends residential at up to 8 dwelling units per acre, single family up to 4 DUA, and greenway for the site. The proposal is for, that should be up to 152 single family attached dwelling units. The density there would change just a little bit, go up just a little bit. The building height be limited to 48 feet. They're requesting the following innovative provisions: a 14-foot setback from existing or proposed back of curb, 6-foot side yard and 6-foot rear yard, minimum sublot area of 1,200 square feet and width of 22 feet. They're committed to several transportation improvements, including installation of an 8-foot planting strip and 6-foot sidewalk along all public street frontages, public street connections to Burke Drive, Pinebrook Drive, Woodford Lane, and Leaf Tree Drive, construction of an ADA curb ramp or curb ramps at the intersection of Toddville Road and Leaf Tree Drive, as well as construction of a left turn lane on northbound Freedom Drive at Woodford Lane. Also committed to design standards, including specified building materials, covered entryways, blank wall limitations, and porches and stoops on all corner units facing a public street, and committed to providing 3.12 acres of open space with landscaping, seating, and lighting. Since the public hearing, they have addressed several site and building design outstanding issues. There was one other outstanding issue listed on the post-hearing staff analysis regarding tree save calculations. That actually was an error by staff. So that comment will be rescinded for the final staff analysis. Staff does recommend approval of the petition, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Joe, you said the site plan amendment or changes since the public hearing is only related to tree save?
No, there were several site and building design issues, including correcting a buffer area, confirming setbacks were met, deleting building pad dimensions from the site plan, confirming driveway lengths, meet minimum and maximum standards, adding language regarding the greenway easement, and removing notes that don't comply with the R22 MF standards to the innovative section. But then there was the other comment regarding tree save calculations that based on there was a different area of the site plan. There was a slightly increased acreage, something that wasn't captured correctly on a previous site plan. And that was the reason for the incorrect tree safe calculation because it's based on the acreage of the site.
Okay, and those calculations didn't change density at all?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Can you clarify for benefit of the public, this is one question that I had on this petition, specified building material. What is the specified building material?
Just a minute, I'll need to pull up the site plan. So the townhomes will be constructed with a variety of building materials used for a combination of the following: glass, brick, stone, simulated stone, precast concrete, synthetic stone, stucco, cementitious siding such as hardy plank, ephes, decorative block, or wood. Vinyl, when utilized, shall be a minimum gauge of 0.42 inches.
Okay, any questions for Joe?
I have one additional question. In all of that tree save area towards the bottom of the site plan is shown on the screen now. Is that going to be programmed at all, or is that just going to be left, let's call it natural? Are there going to be pedestrian improvements and accessibility improvements made to that? And you may have mentioned this. If you have, I'm sorry.
So part of that area is for Mecklenburg County Greenway easement, but they did mention they did have notes specific to amenities. I can get to those. A minimum of 4,000 square feet of required common open space will be improved with seating areas, walkways, and other hardscape areas, landscape areas, and lighting.
And that's in addition to the easement for the greenway that would be coming through this as well.
That is correct.
Okay.
Any other questions for Joe?
This
Motion, please.
Commissioner Blumenthal, having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-119 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Chirino seconds.
Motion by Blumenthal, Chirino second, Commissioner Rhodes,
Yes.
Welton,
Yes.
Chirinos,
Yes.
Blumenthal.
Yes.
Chair votes aye, that passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 6, rezoning petition 2021-125 by Red Sea Properties, and we'll hear from Claire.
Okay, petition 2021-125, it's about 133 acres and it's off University City Boulevard and I-45. And the request is to rezone it from single-family residential and distributed business to mixed-use district or MX2 for residential development consisting of almost 600 or 581 single-family attached and detached dwellings at an overall density of 4.37 units per acre. Let's see, the development's going to be served by an internal network of public streets and alleyways with several transportation improvements proposed as part of the project. Project will provide Class C buffers, greenway dedication, and proposed trail network, tree save areas. Also illustrating potential 50-foot and 100-foot post control buffers, potential storm water quality areas. As part of the development, they're going to provide a minimum 2.5 acre amenity area that will include a minimum of 2 of the following primary amenities. This is also in the staff analysis. Pool, it can be pool, clubhouse, outdoor community gathering spaces, as well as a minimum of 2 of the following secondary amenities: grills, community garden, seating area, gym, cabana, dog park, picnic tables, benches, pavilion, gazebo, elevated hardscape areas, walking trails, and/or enhanced landscaping. The petitioner is additionally providing a minimum of 5 acres of smaller amenity areas that can contain a minimum of the 2 secondary amenities as listed above and is generally depicted on the rezoning plan. Remaining outstanding issues just pertain to urban forestry comments. They need to show, and the way they show the tree save, and ensuring that the tree save area is free of utilities and easements, and just showing it correctly on the site plan. So I think that's it. The petition is inconsistent with the Rocky River Road Area Plan recommendation for utility, greenway, and warehouse distribution uses on the site. Staff does recommend approval.
Discussion?
This is Commissioner Chirinos. Claire, how far are the, and you know, I'm not as familiar with that area. How far are any kind of food environment, I mean, like services or anything, food, financial services, and all of that? It's 133 acres. Is it how far is it going to be? I mean, the mixed use is going to be in. I cannot see that in the rendering.
I'm sorry, I've pulled up Charlotte Explorer.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, whether it's going to be isolated or, I mean, they're going to sort of create their own services in there. I mean, they're going to have a lot of children. I mean, for what I see, the increase in the different ages.
So I think Commissioner Chirinos, there's a grocery store like literally almost across the street from this site. So it's some small shopping area, but there's a grocery store within walking distance here to this site. And I hope that's helpful for your.
So, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that it? I mean, like.
There's development up there. I know the post office where you go get your passport is up there. There's a Food Lion. That's what it is. That's the grocery store that's across the street.
Yeah, it's in a little strip, and then there's another small strip with some restaurants and stuff right there at like literally across the street from the site.
Yeah, and
So it won't be.
Yeah,
on University City Boulevard as well.
Yeah.
up and down.
So there's a Goodwill that there's if I remember right, that's where the Goodwill is also. So there's some supportive uses for residential on this site. There, and it's surrounded by, well, not surrounded obviously because the highway's right there, but there's a lot of multifamily over here, single family. It's got a good mix, I think, and it's just going to continue to blossom here with the addition of this residential area. But there's workout facilities here. It's pretty well built out.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions or anything? So I think that I will need to comment here on the vesting request. I will continue to note that 5 years is not something that is ideal that we would particularly offer a developer. However, I had a conversation with this petitioner's team about a week ago, and they kind of explained fully the request, the details behind the request. And this is one I want to make clear would be an exception to what I would otherwise be highly concerned about. And I just wanted to state that for the public record. I would be supporting, but most development that comes through requesting vesting rights will definitely have pushback. That involves kind of a protected creek area here and some troubles that the petitioners we know will have to face, and there's not a guarantee that we can provide on its outcome. And I just wanted to state that for the record. I will be supporting, but I do not overall support 5-year vesting. Any other questions, comments? If not, motion please.
Commissioner Welton, I'll make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-121 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Chirinos seconds.
Motion by Walton, second by Chirinos. Blumenthal.
Aye.
Rhodes.
Aye.
Chirinos.
Aye.
Walton.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 7. Petition 2021168. And we will hear from Joe. This is by Station West LLC.
This is approximately 3.83 acres located the southeastern corner of the intersection of Berry Hill Road and State Street. The current zoning is I2 and proposed zoning is MUD O. The Central District Plan recommends industrial land use for this site. And they are proposing to allow all uses permitted in the MUD O district with the exception of active adult retirement communities, adult establishments, auction sales or auction houses not to exceed 10,000 square feet, automotive service stations, boarding houses, bus passenger stations, commercial rooming houses, group homes for up to 10 residents, hotels and motels, post offices, telephone booths, and transit stations and associated parking facilities. They're requesting the following optional provisions to allow parking and maneuvering areas between the buildings and the Berry Hill Road setback, to allow a modified sidewalk and planting strip width and configuration along Berry Hill Road and State Street due to existing site conditions. And this is another petition in the Thrift Road corridor where there's already been some adaptive reuse, and this is an effort to mitigate parking concerns when uses change over. So they are also utilizing a table to calculate cumulative trip generation The table will be updated and added to the cover sheet of the permitting site for each individual project within the rezoning site. When the proposed cumulative trip generation exceeds 2,500 trips per day, the petitioner will be required to perform a traffic impact study and/or propose alternative transportation improvements in lieu of a TIS, which will be subject to the approval of CDOT. A petition would allow for building additions while limiting building height to 40 feet and would be providing a minimum 10,000 square feet of pedestrian plaza amenitized open space. All new lighting would be, excluding decorative lighting, will be full cutoff type. Since the public hearing, the petitioner addressed one outstanding issue, and that was to staff's direction to remove any residential use from the petition. So there are no residential uses allowed on the site. Staff recommends approval, and I'd be happy to take any of your questions.
Joe, this is Commissioner Welton. This is probably a minor point. In your slide, it seemed to indicate that the train tracks that cross the road there were not going to be there anymore. The little red line ended before the road. Are they dealing with that at all, or is that just the way the slide turned out?
We go back to that slide, please.
That one, where near the top of the slide, I'm assuming the red line coming down from the top right corner, it appears to end before the road, or am I misreading that? I mean, it's just, I drive a Miata. It's not conducive to being friendly, so I was just curious as to whether or not that was going to stay or not. And, you know, when I saw this, I was just curious. So again, it's a minor point.
So CDOT might be able to answer this better. Is that one of the two railroad crossings that will be removed by the other recent petition?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Kevin Parker with CDOT here. That is correct, Joe. 2021-196, I believe, has committed to removing those two railroad spurs and implementing our local collector street pavement section.
Okay, so that'll be nice and smooth to drive over in my Miata, is what you're saying. Okay, thank you. It's all about me.
I don't mind one bit. Most of this rail line has been removed in many areas around this lower tuck. Any other discussion, questions, comments?
This is Commissioner Blumenthal. I think this is actually a very exciting development, and I'm happy to make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-168 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Commissioner Welton, I'll second that.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Welton. I will make mention here as a point of additional discussion that this is the third or fourth petition in which TIS may be triggered at a point certain in the future. Just wanted to prepare CDOT for a slew of questions that I'll have as I see this becoming a pattern in this series of blocks with this mixed use, reuse of buildings. Commissioner Chirinos, your vote, please.
Aye.
Rhodes?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Welton?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 8, 2021-188. And this is by Dominion Realty Partners, and we'll hear from John.
Thank you. This is 15.83 acres located on the north and south side of Roundtree Road, east of 77, north of Tyvola. It is currently zoned I1 industrial, and they are requesting MUD CD, mixed use development conditional. The Woodlawn Transit Station Area Plan recommends an office industrial warehouse distribution uses for the site. So you all saw this petition back in, I believe it would have been March. It went to hearing in February. And this is the layout that you saw previously. Since then, they have made some changes to the layout of the site plan. Holly, if you will go to the next slide, please. You can see hopefully on here, there's the two parallel dotted lines in red that extend from Roundtree through the site towards I-77. That is a Charlotte Water easement that cuts through the site. And due to that easement, they had to make some changes to their layout. So looking at the site plan there on the right, what they've done is they've moved the amenity building and space over to the west side of 77 Center Drive extension. That will be located in the basically in that multifamily building there, and then the outdoor space would be adjacent to it. Yeah. And then they've added some additional buildings to the leg of the site that's kind of on the south, the lower right corner. Those would be some new units that would be townhome style, still, multifamily for rent, but in the townhome style building. So the total number of units or total number of buildings went from 4 to 9 to accommodate that style of building. The same number of units are proposed at 300. And I believe I've covered the majority of those site plan changes. Next slide. Staff is recommending approval of the petition. It is inconsistent with the Woodlawn Transit Station Area Plan's recommendation for office and industrial uses, but we are supporting the petition, and it would change the land use plan to recommend residential less than or equal to 22 units to the acre.
John, can you go back one slide?
And if need be, we can go back one further if you want to see what was shown to you all before versus now. So yeah, I see where it says club there and clubhouse and amenity space. That area of the site was pretty much left open and going to be used for amenity area and clubhouse space. And then the buildings were all going to be on the multifamily buildings were all going to be on the left side of the road. And so now there'll be buildings and units on both sides of the road, and the amenity space would be on the left.
So there will still be dedicated amenity space and
Yeah, there's still the same amount of commitments for the same amount of amenity space that we saw previously. It's just in a different location.
And then that kind of where the Duke easement's coming across, that space behind the last building, is that just tree safe space there? It looks like there might be swim buffer or something.
That's correct. Yep.
Okay, got it.
Go back one more, sorry. Got it, thank you. Any other questions for John?
Do you know the sidewalk and if there are any multimodal paths to increase kind of connectivity through?
I'd have to turn that over to Walter to talk about what the plan is.
It's on the it's actually on the page right in front of me, the 8-foot planning strip and 8-foot sidewalk along both sides of the extension. So my question was already answered. Sorry about that. On that note, I'm happy to make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-188 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Welton, I will second.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Walton. Commissioner Torinos.
Aye.
Rhodes,
Aye.
Walton,
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 9, we will have 2021195 by Still Creek 1997 LLC, and we'll hear from Joe.
Thank you. This is approximately 60.5 acres located in the northeastern quadrant of the interchange of Interstate 485 and Arrowwood Road. The current zoning is MUD. It's in the airport noise overlay. And proposed zoning is a site plan amendment for the MUD O Air, as well as the introduction of an I-1 CD air portion of the site. The Steel Creek Area Plan recommends mixed residential office retail land uses for the site, as was amended by the prior petition 2018-121. The previously approved site plan rezoned a total of 264.93 acres into 2 zoning districts, I-1 CD Air and MUD O Air. The MUD O Air portion of that rezoning, labeled Development Area E, is what is being considered for a site plan amendment. Request to rezone Development Area E to I-1 CD with 25,000 square feet of office, repair, maintenance, warehouse, showroom, assembly, and sales uses. Will also allow for an additional 10,000 square feet of commercial uses, for a total of 83,000 square feet of commercial uses in development areas A and B, as well as an additional 150 residential dwelling units in development area C for a total of 420 units. Since the public hearing, they have addressed one comment to show all buffers, environmental buffers on the site, as well as to add a standard stormwater note regarding the need for approval and mitigation for any areas within buffers. They also have addressed a request to replace repair and maintenance as it is listed in the conditional notes. Petitioner informed staff that repair and maintenance does not refer to automobile repair and maintenance. It refers to the repair and maintenance of a product, and they have added a note as such to the latest site plan. Staff recommends approval, and I'll be happy to take your questions.
I don't have my magnifier, Joe, so please clarify again for the benefit of the public what uses are restricted in this particular SPA.
Give me just a minute to navigate to the site plan. The question was, what uses are prohibited or what uses are permitted?
Yes, prohibited.
I apologize because these are some very lengthy notes as they relate to the 2018 rezoning, and then we have additional notes on top from the this current site plan amendment.
Okay, so maybe a better question is, in the original petition, compared to this SPA? Are there any prohibited uses that were in the 2018 petition that are not in this SPA? Were there any prohibited uses removed?
No, no, I
Okay.
don't think so.
That is the clarity I was seeking. Thank you so much. Any other questions for Joe?
To clarify, Matt, I-1, it does allow for a service station, a gas station, correct?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. I thought I had seen somewhere on the notes that they did allow for a gas station.
I'll read the note regarding that development area E, which is the I-1 CD portion. The principal building constructed within development area E may be developed with up to 25,000 square feet of gross floor area of office, repair, maintenance, warehouse, showroom, assembly of parts and/or materials, and sales uses, together with accessory uses as permitted in the I-1 zoning district. Repair and maintenance shall mean repair and maintenance of a product and shall not mean auto maintenance and repair.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions for Joe? Motion, please.
Commissioner Wilson, I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition 2021-195 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Rhodes?
Aye.
Chirinos?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
The chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 10, rezoning petition 2021-199 by Nest Home Communities LLC. We'll hear from Claire.
Petition 2021-199 is for 0.23 acres and is located on the south side North Davidson Street, northwest of Yadkin Avenue in Noda. And the request is to rezone this infill lot from R5 or single family to UR2 CD to accommodate an infill single family attached residential development. So when this request went to this, you saw this request in February, and when it went to February, when it was at public hearing in February, the proposal was for 2 buildings with 3 units in each on the north side and the south side of the lot. There were some issues with being able to design it in accordance, in conjunction with the required cross-section for that section of North Davidson Street. So it was deferred for a while, and they came back with another a new site plan. Do we have that site plan? Okay, thanks. So the new site plan, in order to accommodate the cross-section, better accommodate those comments, it now reflects up to 5 units on one side, on the south side of the lot, which is actually more in alignment with the abutting infill project to the south, which is a relatively new project as well. So they'll have the 5 units. They'll still be accessed off of North Davidson via the alleyway. They're still providing that 10-foot Class C buffer against the existing R5 lot on Yadkin. And they've committed to the streetscape along North Davidson, which is 8-foot sidewalk, 8-foot planting strip. And there's still a few outstanding issues that pertain to some CDOT requests for clarification on some site plan notes. They also, there's some land development rezoning request as far as tying that development into the proposed sidewalk network along North Davidson Street. And I think there is one more comment as well, which is also listed in the staff analysis. And that one pertains to, it's just modify a note to modify the site plan to note that the sublot open space will be provided per ordinance. So that is, I think that sums up the outstanding issues. The request is inconsistent with the 36th Street Transit Station Plan recommendation for single-family uses up to 5 dwelling units per acre. If this would approve, it would amend that plan to allow for greater than 22 units per acre for the site. And staff does recommend approval.
Thank you, Claire. Do we have any questions? Discussion? Motion, please.
Commissioner Blumenthal, I'm happy to make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-199 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Chirino seconds.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Chirinos. Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Walton.
Aye.
Chirinos.
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Item number 11, please. Petition 2021-201 by Blue Azalea. And we'll hear from Michael.
Thank you. This is approximately 1.15 acres located in the northwest quadrant of the intersection of Weddington Avenue and Bascom Street, east of 7th Street. The current zoning is R5, single family residential. The proposed zoning is UR2, urban residential conditional. The plan is inconsistent with the Elizabeth area plan recommendation of residential uses of up to no more than 5 dwelling units per acre. So this petition, it proposes to develop a residential community of up to 18 townhome units. They do provide an 8-foot planting strip and an 8-foot sidewalk along both street frontages. They provide 2 guest parking spaces. They have architectural details. The exterior building materials includes brick, painted or stained wood, and cementous board. All residential entrances will be within 15 feet of the sidewalk, will be raised from the average sidewalk grade a minimum of 24 inches. So currently there are no outstanding issues, and staff does recommend approval of this petition. Be glad to take any questions.
Thank you, Michael. I think from public hearing, this item wasn't on the original agenda for public hearing. It made it into the agenda either the day of or after, definitely after the agenda was originally published. I don't remember what Dave said the timing was for the change or the addition of this agenda item. I wonder, because this agenda item didn't make it into my packet, didn't know it was on the agenda until it was being presented at public hearing. I'm wondering if the public thinks the same. I went back to the petitioner's public meeting document and saw that there were some points of concern, and I think it worthy to have some sort of assurance that those concerns were identified, addressed, and or currently being advanced by the petitioner. Does anybody have any questions for Michael directly, or does anybody share that concern and would entertain a motion to hear from petitioner.
Madam Chair, I don't particularly have that concern. My understanding is that there were some ongoing discussions with the community, and the last communication I got from the petitioner's agent seemed to indicate that the community had put their support in alignment with that. So that addresses that concern as far as I understand.
You have information that I'm not privy to.
Okay, I did receive an email from the petitioner's agent yesterday at about 1 p.m. If you are anywhere close to, and yeah, your email is on there. If you're close to your computer, you can see that particular information. (12:49 p.m.)
Yeah, I would also add that they did defer the zoning committee from last time to this time. With my understanding was that they were working to address some of the outstanding issues and also to work with the Elizabeth community. But, you know, they did meet all the other notification requirements.
Okay, so then can Douglas, since you have raised the point of this communication, do you want to read it into the record for the benefit of the public?
I can, I guess, do that. What was that?
Just the part that's relevant.
I mean, I've got a letter of support from Evan Kettler, excuse me if I'm butchering that, Evan, who's the vice president of the Elizabeth Community Association, and it is addressed to Blue Azalea Asset Management. The letter is dated May 2nd, and it is concerning petition number 2021-021, which is the one we're on. The letter says, on behalf of the Elizabeth Community Association, I'm writing to confirm that we do not have, nor know of any material opposition to rezoning petition number 2021-201 in its current form. Blue Azalea Management has actively worked with the ECA and any neighbors that have voiced concerns to address and resolve issues raised. We are confident that Blue Azalea will continue working with us to quickly finalize any open items remaining with respect to their commitment to enhance mobility, safety, and the quality of life in Elizabeth. And that is signed, again, Evan Kettler, who is the vice president of the Elizabeth Community Association.
Thank you so very much. Any other questions for Michael? Motion.
Commissioner Welton, I will make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-021 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Rhodes, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Rhodes. Commissioner Blumenthal.
Aye.
Chirinos.
Aye.
Rhodes.
Aye.
Welton.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item 12, rezoning petition 2021-204 by William J. Volkoff. And Michael, you're up again.
Yes, thank you. This is approximately 6.85 acres located on the southeast intersection of West W.T. Harris Boulevard and Hendry Road, west of Old Statesville Road. The current zoning is I2, General Industrial. The proposed zoning is I1CD. The petition is consistent with the North Lake Area Plan recommendation of industrial warehouse and distribution land uses for this site. This petition proposes to allow a recreational vehicle sales, showroom, and service repair facilities on this site. It will contain up to 18,000 square foot of a showroom building with an outdoor sales lot. And it allows up to 13,650 square foot service and repair building. And it does limit the height to 40 feet maximum. They've addressed all of the outstanding issues. They do have some technical issues, minor technical issues to resolve with concerning conditional notes on the site plan. But other than that, staff does recommend approval of this petition. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Do we have any for Michael? Welton, it's too early for that.
It's never too early for a nap, Madam Chair, just saying.
Any questions for Michael? Not motion?
This is Commissioner Welton. I will make a motion instead of taking a nap. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-204 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal, second.
Motion by Welton, second by Blumenthal. Any other points of discussion? Rhodes?
Aye.
Chirinos?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That is unanimous. Thank you. Item number 14. Nope. Item number 13. Rezoning petition 2021-207 by Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority, care of City of Charlotte. And we'll hear from Joe.
This is approximately 3.7 acres on the southeastern corner of the intersection of Independence Boulevard and Paul Buck Boulevard. It is currently zoned B2 and the proposed zoning is MUD O. The Independence Boulevard area plan recommends institutional land uses for this city-owned site. It includes Bojangles Coliseum and, actually the site itself is just Ovens Auditorium, but adjacent to Bojangles Coliseum. The proposal would add on-site signage that exceeds the current ordinance standards. All the existing building and site conditions would remain. It would include a monument sign in front of Ovens Auditorium along Independence Boulevard that would be 450 square feet per side and up to 20 feet in height. It would be a two-sided electronic sign, two-sided electronic sign would be integrated into it, measuring 275 square feet per side. There would also be pole signs that you can see in the site plan here. One at the front entrance, the auditorium, and the other one towards the private drive in the rear. Those would total an area of 30 square feet per side and up to 10 feet in height. Each pole sign will have a two-sided electronic sign integrated into it, measuring 29 square feet per side. They are requesting an optional provision for exemption from building and site requirements to conflict with the as-built conditions as they relate to MUD urban design and development standards, MUD parking and loading standards, screening, and they have since removed the Chapter 21 tree exemption request. And they're also committing to obtaining a permit from NCDOT outdoor advertising unit prior to construction. As I mentioned regarding the request for exemption from the tree ordinance, that comment has been addressed. They removed request for that exemption. I did want to point out that Councilmember Eggleston brought up during the public hearing that he would like to see the existing sign remain and be moved to another location on site. I'm not aware that that has been that was addressed in the revised site plan prior to zoning committee, but I did want to make the committee aware. Staff does recommend approval of this petition, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions?
Commissioner Blumenthal, I'm happy to make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-207 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Commissioner Welton, I will second.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Wilton. As a point of additional discussion, thank you to the petitioner for taking out the request for the exemption of the Chapter 21 trees. Commissioner Rhodes.
Aye.
Chirinos.
Aye.
Wilton.
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
Item passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 14. Petition 2021-222 by Rad Schneider, and we will hear from Michael.
Thank you. This is approximately 21.16 acres bound by the west side of Beatties Ford Road, south side of Cowboy Lane, and north side of Kidd Lane. The current zoning is R3, single family residential. The proposed zoning is R8 MFCD, multifamily residential conditional. The petition is inconsistent with the Northwest District Plan recommendation of single family uses of up to 4 dwelling units per acre. But the petition meets the general development policies locational criteria for consideration of over 6 dwelling units per acre. So this petition is proposing to develop a multifamily residential community of up to 123 townhomes with a density of 5.81 dwelling units per acre. They will limit the maximum height to 40 feet. They do provide right-of-way for the future Fred D. Alexander Road extension. Access will be from Beatties Ford Road and Kidd Lane. They're providing right and left turn lanes into the site along Beatties Ford Road. They commit to installing an 8-foot planting strip and 12-foot multi-use path along Beatties Ford Road. Each unit will have a 2-car garage with an additional 2 spaces within the driveway area. They are committing to a 50-foot Class C buffer where the site abuts existing residential areas. They have addressed most of their outstanding issues with just a minor note change that they need to make. Other than that, staff does recommend approval of this petition. We'll be glad to take any questions.
Thank you, Michael. Is there anyone on the line who can comment about Charlotte Fire? I think that there is a location that I don't believe it's under construction yet, but aren't they supposed to build one in the corner of Miranda and Beatties Ford? Did I dream that? Is there anyone on the line that can answer that inquiry?
Strange
No.
trees.
We don't have a representative from the fire on the line.
Any
Where-
questions for Mike?
What location did you say again, Kiba?
Miranda and Beatty's Ford. So Miranda, I think,
Okay. I was checking the Explore Charlotte thingamabob because sometimes it has things that are coming on there. I don't know if it's going to have that one. But it's taking some time here.
Michael, can you pull up, I wish these comments were more readily available, but it says see rezoning.org for fire comments. Do you happen to have that more readily available than I do?
Sure, just a moment.
Commissioner Chirinos, did I hear you?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me? No, I was just wondering what was your, if you could elaborate on.
My point of concern or question. So there's, this area is exploding pretty fast, and I believe the closest fire station is not close at all.
I have
Okay.
one on Pleasant Grove Road and Kelly Road. And I have no idea how far in terms of distance that is, but
That's so this is my neck of the woods. I think the one further in, closer to Hornets Nest, I think there's a volunteer fire department down that way. I just don't know if I dreamed that, but just that I'll follow up on that. My potential concern is that we're building faster than infrastructure, that supportive infrastructure can deliver services. But I believe I remember correctly that we heard a rezoning about a year and a half ago from City Fire that would put a location at Miranda and Babies Ford, which is about, I think that's the very next intersection, moving to Mount Holly Huntersville Road. I'll follow up on that on my own. Thank you. Any other questions for Michael other than that?
Madam Chair, would it be possible to talk to the petitioner and find out if they know, if they have any idea? I mean, would they have discussed this with the fire department?
Not necessarily, at least not directly.
Oh, good to know. No, it is. I would just say that it's in the ETJ, and that they do generally have a requirement of a 240-second response time radius. And if it's in the ETJ, they almost always are in a 240-second radius to Charlotte Fire Department or volunteer fire department.
Okay.
So, and there was nothing
Highlight.
mentioned in that in their review.
Thank you so very much. Commissioner Chirinos, I think I'm good. As I was stating earlier, there is a volunteer station a bit further in, closer to Hornets Nest that may be able to serve this particular area. There's development happening in 1, 2, 3 different, like within a 1/10 of a mile of each other to this petition. Thank you, Michael. Any other discussion? If not, motion, please.
this is Commissioner Walton. I will make a motion.
Thank you.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-222 as it appears before us, and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Chirinos?
Aye.
Rhodes?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, that passes unanimous. Thank you. Item 16. 2021-230 by Providence Group Capital LLC and Holly. I'm sorry. Did I? Nope. Item 15, trying to get us out of here, guys. 2021-226 by AREP Galloway LLC and Michael, you're up again.
Yes, thank you. This is approximately 8.02 acres located on the south side of Galloway Road, east of Claude Freeman Drive and north of West Mallard Creek Church Road. The current zoning is R3 single family residential. The proposed zoning is UR2 CD urban residential conditional. The petition is inconsistent with the Northeast Area Plan recommendation of residential land uses of no more than 4 dwelling units per acre. But this petition meets the general development policies locational criteria for consideration of up to 6 dwelling units per acre. So this petition is proposing to develop a residential community of up to 48 townhome units with a density of 5.9 dwelling units per acre. They are limiting the height to 48 feet. Vehicular access to the site will be from Galloway Road only. They commit to 8 visitor parking spaces. They're providing a 12-foot multi-use path connecting Arbor Vista Drive to the proposed public street. They're providing landscape buffers along the property lines to the neighboring single-family residential homes. Each townhome will have a garage as well. They've addressed their outstanding issues with just one outstanding issue to be cleared up with CDOT. Otherwise, staff does make an approval of this petition. Thank you. I'll be glad to take any questions.
Do we have any, Michael? Motion, please.
Commissioner Blumenthal. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-226 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Commissioner Welton, I will second.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Welton. Commissioner Jerinos.
Aye.
Rhodes.
Aye.
Welton.
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, that passes unanimous. Now we'll have Holly on item number 16, 2021-230 by Providence Group Capital LLC. Thank you.
Thank you. This site is just under a half acre located on the east side of South Tryon, north of Remount Road and south of Dunavant Street. The current zoning is TOD-NC, Transit Oriented Development Neighborhood Center, and it is proposing to go to TOD-UC, Transit Oriented Development Urban Center. As you can see, it's surrounded on at least 2 sides by TOD-UC and TOD-NC to its north. It is consistent with the New Bern Station Area Plan recommendation for transit-oriented development mixed uses for the site. It is within a half-mile walk to the proposed Rampart Station and also just a little over a half-mile walk to the New Bern Station. We have no issues with this petition. It is conventional, so there's no associated site plan, and I will take any questions if you have any.
Thank you, Holly. Are there any questions, discussion?
This is Commissioner Welton. I will just ask a question. There may not be an answer for this, but we have done a number of petition changes in this area based on the proposed Rampart Station. And is there any timetable on that station being realized, or is there anyone on this call that can even answer that? I guess is the question. I just see that we've got some probably some of the UC that's happened there because of the change, and just curious.
Yeah, so I know that with the Rampart Station, the reason that we're able to apply TOD UC or even CC if it were relevant here is because the station has been funded, but I don't know about the actual timeline of that. I don't know if anybody else on this call from staff may have a better answer for that. But that's a little bit of the reasoning.
Okay, thank you. I was not aware that it had been funded, so that that helps me out a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. Any other questions? Motion, please.
Commissioner Welton, I will make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-230 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Rhodes?
Aye.
Chirinos?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
And Blumenthal?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 17. 2021231 by Emory Investment Corporation's Holly.
Thank you. This site is 0.45 acres located at the intersection of Pearson Drive and Chippendale Road. It is currently zoned R5 and is proposing to go to R6. So it is consistent with the land use recommendation for single family, but inconsistent with the 5 dwelling units per acre density recommendation from the Independence Boulevard Area Plan. This rezoning is really because of the width of the site. It is, even though it's 0.45 acres, the petitioner is unable to subdivide because of the lot width, and so they are trying to go to R6 so that they can get 2 single-family homes on the site. That is the intention. So it's really just this really slight increase in density to allow more flexibility in development on the site. It is conventional, so there's no associated site plan, and I will take any questions.
Thank you, Holly. Any questions for Holly? On item number 17. Motion, please.
Commissioner Welton, I will make a motion.
Go for it.
All right. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-231 as it appears before us and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Rhodes?
Aye.
Chirinos?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 18. 2021233 by Hopper Communities and John.
This is approximately 6.52 acres on the south side of Inhaven Lane, west side of Elm Lane, north of Interstate 485. It is currently zoned R3, single family residential. The proposed zoning would go to R12 MF, multifamily residential conditional. The South District Plan recommends single family residential less than or equal to 3 dwelling units per acre. But we do use the general development policies to provide guidance for increases of density in this area, and it meets the locational criteria for consideration up to 8 units per acre. The petition proposes up to 52 single-family attached dwellings, and so that comes in under that 8 DUA that the general development policy supports, right at 7.98 units per acre. It limits the maximum building height, provides architectural design standards. Each unit would have a garage and commits to providing a minimum of 15 visitor parking spaces on the site. limits the units that would have rooftop terraces, basically to avoid having those be adjacent to single-family residential homes adjacent to the site. Provides a buffer that's greater than the minimum required. Here it says, in this note, it says 30-foot width required by the ordinance. However, it's actually a 36-foot width that's required by the ordinance, and they are committing to a 37.5-foot wide buffer that would include a fence, and that fence would not be allowed to reduce the width of the buffer that typically the ordinance would allow. They are committing to a central green and amenity space that's at least 4,000 square feet, and they are constructing 8-foot planting strip and 6-foot sidewalks that connect from the In-Haven frontage to the recently constructed planting strip and sidewalk that's along Elm Lane and the recently constructed I-45 bridge. And then they also will install a westbound turn lane on In-Haven that is at the site's entrance. Not a whole lot of changes since the public hearing, other than some clarification on the plantings that they would be committing to in that buffer. This was a request by our zoning staff. They wanted it specified what the plantings would be, so they would be planting 7 trees and 20 shrubs per 100 linear feet along that western property line. Staff is recommending approval of the petition. It is inconsistent with the South District Plan, as I said, but meets the general development policy's locational criteria for that consideration up to 8 units per acre. I'll take any questions.
Thank you, John. Let's hear it. Anything? Nope. Okay.
I'll make a motion if you're ready for it.
I'm good. I just Jake was ready on this one. I was just saying I didn't wanted to give him an opportunity to at least open his mouth and say hi.
Yeah, I know.
Good job, Jake.
Yeah. I'll make a motion. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition 2021-233 as it appears before us, and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Chirino seconds.
Motion by Walton, second by Chirinos, and I just want to clarify that comment that I just made about our CDOT partner there, clarifying concerns between public hearing and tonight's meeting. So hearing motion by Walton, second by Chirinos, I think it was. Blumenthal, on your vote.
Aye, I'm sorry if you didn't hear me.
Chirinos,
Aye.
Rhodes,
Aye.
Walton.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number 19, are we?
Madam Chair, could I have a moment on the previous item, please?
Yes, please.
I would just like to thank everybody that sent an email to me, and we took that very seriously and took a nice road trip out during traffic time and everything, and got great feedback from folks, and I appreciate everybody participating in the public process, and that's what this is all about. Enough said. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Walton. 19, rezoning petition 21-236 by RJS Properties. And Holly, please.
Thank you. This site is just under 2 acres, located on the south side of Roundtree Road, north side of Minuet Lane, and west of Old Pineville Road, just across from Roundtree Nurseries right there, just for reference. The current zoning is I2 General Industrial and is proposing to go to TOD-CC. It is directly adjacent to other TOD-CC zoning district at Roundtree, which is Transit Oriented Development Community Center. So it is inconsistent with the Woodlawn Transit Station Area Plan recommendation for office, industrial, and warehouse distribution uses. It is a conventional petition, so there is no associated site plan. It is within a half-mile walk of the Woodlawn Station, and Staff saw no issues, and I will take any questions.
Any questions for Holly?
This is Commissioner Walton. I would just also, I stated this on a previous petition that was on Roundtree Road. I hope that there are some transportation improvements to Roundtree Road. It has been well loved. So hopefully that is going to be a part of what CDOT does in the future there, because we've got 3 projects, I think, that are going to be using that road. And it probably hasn't seen that much traffic in a long time. That's my only comment.
Thank you. So I know the occupant on this particular site. I don't have an issue at all with this petition. However, he and I have spent some time talking through 2040 comp plan notes, in that there is very little industrial space that is available to him to operate his business. As these types of sites, as we see them move from, your industrial over to Muddo and other types of uses, where does I-1 go is a very valid argument that is being resurrected. The type of business that this is, everybody is aware. In order for him to operate his business in this city, he has to be located in this city. He could very well find places in Gaston County or Union County, but not here in the city of Charlotte. So I just want to make conscious zoning committee of those comments, as I promised him that I would, so that we can at least continue that discussion as we bring UDO adoption into fold. In terms of this particular petition, though, it's following a pattern, and I don't take issue with it at all. Any other comments, questions?
Commissioner Blumenthal, I'm happy to make the motion on this one. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-236 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Chirinos seconds.
Motion by Blumenthal, second by Chirinos. Walton.
Aye.
Rhodes.
Aye.
Chirinos.
Aye.
Blumenthal.
Aye.
The chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you. Item number.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to make a comment to the last. So with your comment, are there any provisions to be able to create areas to relocate businesses like the one that you were referring to? I mean, do we have any kind of plan in our plan that
Let's chat on that for sure offline within the next 72 hours. I want you, if you are able to make space in your schedule for that, please, because I think it's necessary that everybody has an understanding of that.
Yeah.
Let's talk offline on that one, okay?
Okay, and I appreciate your comment, because I think it's important, especially for small businesses that are going to be challenged with this, in the transition.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you. And Clara will round us out with petition 2021-239 by Drakeford Communities LLC.
Petition 2021-239 is approximately 9.34 acres and is generally bounded by Shorthorn Street, District Drive, and East W.T. Harris Boulevard. And the request is rezone the parcel from O1 or office conditional to R12 MFCD or multifamily residential in order to accommodate up to 95 single-family attached homes that will be alley fed and at a density of 10.17 units per acre and having a maximum building height of 48 feet. The petition will provide access via Shorthorn Street and commits to 8-foot sidewalks and planting strips along District Drive and Shorthorn Streets. Also provides guest parking, a 50-foot Class A buffer that could be reduced by 25%. You see it there on the screen as that section of the development is across the street from what I believe is an NCDOT operations facility, and a Class C buffer on the north side where it butts an existing single-family residence. It also commits to possible water quality areas and tree save. There are a few outstanding issues that are identified in the staff analysis pertaining to, I think there's some clarification regarding residential driveways, clarification of the width of tree save area, which has to be a minimum of 30 feet. Commitment to enhancement of the possible stormwater quality areas, clarification on the language for amenities, and just reconciling some language on this solid waste. Just saying per ordinance, even though they are providing, they show the refuse recycling area on the site plan. So those are the remaining outstanding items. The request is inconsistent with the Newell Small Area Plan recommendation for office uses. Staff does recommend approval.
Thank you, Claire. Any questions? Claire, can you go back one slide? If provided possible open space, if provided possible open space. Is there, what led to this change? Wasn't there open space already provided in the original site plan? Do I have that incorrect?
We were looking for, requesting a commitment to an amenitized area.
Okay.
So we just need a clarification because, it's an ask, so either they're going to provide it or they're not.
Thank you.
It states if possible, if proposed, either just says, state possible area may include these amenities. So just that type of clarification.
Well, I know how this petitioner's agent, this petitioner loves open space, so I would bank on the petitioner being able to provide some open space area here, hopefully for this community. It was good to hear the neighboring community, and please forgive that I don't remember the name of that single family neighborhood adjacent, but it was good to hear their community leaders speak in support confidently on this project. Any other questions for Claire? Any comments?
If none, I'll make a motion.
Thank you.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2021-239 as it appears before us, and adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Blumenthal, second.
Motion by Walton, second by Blumenthal. Commissioner Rhodes?
Aye.
Chirinos?
Aye.
Blumenthal?
Aye.
Walton?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That passes unanimous. Thank you all for hanging with us this evening. Thank you, commissioners, for lively discussion. Commissioner Chirinos, I will repeat. We will miss you. I don't know if staff members may not be aware of your departure. This will be the last meeting that you will join us for. I will offer you the floor if you want to say a quick goodbye.
No, I just want to say thank you, not only to every one of you in our commission for your leadership, but everyone in the staff it is just, it's been an incredible learning experience. I continue to learn, and wherever I go, I'm going to take all this amazing experience with me. It's incredible to see how we can get our city grow, and the responsibility and all that, the consequences, and what all implies and how important it is for us to be involved. So I leave Charlotte, but Charlotte does not leave me, and I will continue to be involved in some way. So thank you to each one of you. And by the way, each one of you in the planning staff, it is great to hear your voices every time, because it helps us, at least me. I feel it's very soothing to hear your confidence every time that you speak. So I don't know whether that's a requirement to be in the planning staff to keep us, but I thank you for your focus and centeredness every time that we have been in the zoning committee, which is a huge, a big part of the transformation of Charlotte. So thank you.
Best wishes to you.
Thank you very much. I've learned a lot
Yes.
here, and hopefully I'll be able to bring some new things. I'm moving way down to Florida, right? I'm moving to Miami as well. I'm sure there are all kinds of different issues. So I'll be able to compare and see the best practices and share perhaps from Charlotte to Miami and vice versa.
Thank you, Commissioner Chirinos. Jake, welcome, and I will be sure to share with everyone how awesome you did with being silent this evening for your first meeting.
Thank you very much.
Claire, it's good to see you back with us, and we don't miss Dave. You make us not miss Dave, so thank you. Anything else for the good of the order? If not,
I was just going to mention, reminder that the city council meeting is May 23rd. That was moved. So the zoning meeting, May 23rd.
May 23rd and not May 16th. Please make note. Thank you for that reminder, John. And that moves our next zoning committee work session to June 7th, as we said at the top of the meeting. And if there's nothing else, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Sayonara, everybody.
Bye. Gracias.